Hello and welcome to our 62nd episode of From Impossible to Inevitable. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for joining me today and pushing play on today's podcast. So today's podcast is kind of fun. I mentioned that for probably the last 8 podcasts, I didn't really have super clear ideas on what I wanted to talk about. And there was kind of some doubt there as I was like, have I said everything? Do I have anything more left to give? Do I have anything else? Is it all gone? And as I showed up, ideas came to me, words flowed, and there are some really good podcasts in those last 8 that I love. And so it's a real testament to just showing up, and there is magic in simply that. So it was kind of a surprise and a little bit annoying that after I recorded the last batch of podcasts, I had an episode right on the surface that was nagging at me. Just like, this is something you need to talk about. This is important. And I was a little annoyed because I just recorded the last batch and I didn't have it on my schedule to record the next batch quite yet. So I wasn't ready. And yet this topic was bothering me. So here we are today, recording a bit earlier than I would have. But I got to get it out of me because it is an open tab in my brain and it will not close until I deliver the message. So here it is. I focus a lot on setting goals and thinking through your goals so that you are going after the best thing for you, the thing that's going to help you move forward, the thing that means the most to you. I talk about the momentum, I talk about the discipline, I talk about showing up, I talk about all of those things. And not everything is so serious. Not everything needs a goal. Not everything needs the intense discipline that your big dream, your big project, your big goal needs. Not everything needs intense focus. Some things get to be fluid. Some things get to just happen as they happen. Some things don't have to be so strict and so serious. And I would say that probably a lot of things in life don't have to be so strict, don't have to be so serious, don't have to be so rigid. I was at an anxiety presentation at my kids' school a couple of weeks ago, and they said something that was kind of a shock to me. And it was even more shocking that it was shocking to me because I was like, this isn't even a big deal. So in my head, I don't know why this is a big deal. So what they had talked about was helping the students or your kids, ease if they have anxiety in the mornings over separation anxiety or school or whatever it is, taking the time to help them work through that, even if it means they get to school a little late, right? Not groundbreaking. But in my head, I was like, wait, that's acceptable? Of course it's acceptable. I'm the parent. Of course I can drop my kid off a little late to help them be emotionally and mentally ready and centered for the day. Like, of course. That seems so duh. But in my head, initially, it's like, no, school starts at this time. You are there at this time, non-negotiable. Not a big deal. We always aim to be on time, but it's not something that is a big deal. It's not something that needs to be so serious, because when the bus arrives late, I don't freak out. The bus is late. That happens. Oh well. However, I couldn't put that same thinking to a different situation, which is interesting. And so if we can catch ourselves, I have a tendency to take everything like to a serious degree. And if we can catch ourselves and be like, okay, this doesn't need a goal. This doesn't need to be so serious. We can relax. We can take a deep breath. This isn't a major life thing. It's not a major priority thing, and it's going to be okay. You're going to find that you're not so high strung as I can be sometimes. And that is something that I'm really aware of myself about. And so I will talk to myself very gently and tell myself, this isn't a big deal, so it's going to be okay. And not everything needs to be a big goal setting thing. I think this topic came to my mind when I was thinking about my nails, and I was like, I should set a goal of doing my nails every Sunday. And I was like, no. I don't need to set a goal like that. This isn't something I need to put on my to-do list. Yeah, I love it when my nails look nice, and I don't need the pressure of another goal, even like a meaningless goal. It's just a nice to do. It's not a priority. It's not a live or die thing. It's not something I need to put that pressure on myself, because come Sunday, what if we decide to go have dinner with family? Or what if we decide to watch a movie as a family? Or what if I decide to take a nap? I don't want to feel bad or guilty or have that unnecessary pressure of not having done my nails, because that's silly. So there could be something in your life that is that equivalent. I should set a goal to do this, but this thing that you're thinking about isn't actually that important. It's not actually worth a goal. Not everything is worth a goal. Not everything is that serious. Some things, a lot of things, get to be fluid. I feel like I've mentioned probably that I have gotten to this really good rhythm and cadence of vacuuming the house on Thursdays. Thursday is vacuum day, and it just happens. However, if I don't get to it on a Thursday, it's going to be okay. Nothing bad is going to happen. I can do it on Friday. It's going to be okay. So I don't know if you are a person like me who is just really strict, really, this is the plan. We don't deviate from the plan. This is when we show up, this. Not everything is that big of a deal. It's just not. And it is so freeing and kind of relaxing to allow yourself to have fluidity in your day in the places that aren't that important. If you're not going to remember it in a month or in a year, it's probably not that big of a deal. If it's something that is a stair step to your biggest life goals and dreams, it is that important. Those are the things that you should be spending your very limited amount of discipline on. Those are the things that you need to be strict with yourself with. Other things, it's going to be okay. We don't have an infinite source of discipline. I don't think I've talked about decision fatigue before. Maybe that's an upcoming episode, but that's a real thing. And if you can relax about some of your decisions and just be really stuck on the ones that are important, it's going to be really empowering. And you'll find that you will be stronger in your resolve on the things that are important if you allow yourself to let go of some of the things that aren't. You can't hold fast to everything. You just can't. You don't have the strength or the energy for it, and it's not even necessary. So let go of what isn't important even if you have to walk yourself through the step by step of this isn't important, like I do, because I do. Like, it's going to be okay. If we're 5 minutes late, it's going to be okay. That's me. I do everything I can to avoid being late. And if at the end of it I am late, it's going to be okay. I don't have a running list somewhere of all the things that I have been late to because it's not important. And so it's going to continue to not be important if that happens, which it will because it does. And it's okay. Every time I do everything I can to avoid it. Sometimes it's unavoidable and it's okay. Okay, so I was going to focus this whole thing on it's not that serious. Like, just don't be so serious about it all. And it's turned into it's going to be okay. Which reminds me, if you'll hold for 1 second, I just got these stickers in the mail yesterday. They're on my Etsy shop. So if you are not on YouTube, this is a glittery sticker that says it's going to be okay. Isn't that fun? You can find it on my Etsy shop. It's glittery and it's beautiful and I love it. It's going to be okay. So here's where we're going with this episode. Here's where we're ending it at. Some things are super important. Hold fast to those important things. Some things are not so serious. So let up a little, okay? Let up. It's going to be okay. All right. Thank you for joining me on this episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time. Bye for now.